Oh, Mr. Watashi. Do 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 do. Mr. Watatatatush. And do 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 do. Do 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 do. We need some music, man. Let's do a little bluegrass. All right. How are you doing tonight, folks? Oh, my name's Natrid. We're going to be having some drinks, watching some fighting. Look across the top of our screen here. We got a pretty broad selection of things to look through. I always try to look at a few different levels whenever I do. I'm so used to looking over here at my camera. I always try to look at a few different levels whenever I do a review session nowadays, so we have a chance to look at some tippy top, some upper echelon, and then like some mid-level, lower-level fighters, because definitely where I'm at in my fighting journey, I have the ability to comment on and watch and respect and appreciate some high-level people. Curai's here. We can start. Hey, it's 7:30 CST as promised. So I'm excited to like both be able to watch and comment on and just kind of appreciate some super high-level fighting, because that's really what the channel's all about. I watch a lot of tape for fun and just want to share that with people. And then also found the most recent new novice tournament from Armageddon here. So I'm excited to actually watch this from a position where I might actually have some very constructive things to offer here. And hopefully we can find some constructive things to watch across the board. It's going to be hard. We're going to be reviewing some rather high-level tape this evening. So we'll see what we can glean from watching some of the best of the best. So I think we got my boy Sage here. Sage was actually the guy who visited Iron Mountains practice with me, who knocked me over when we were in Denver there recently, Curai. So if you guys have an opinion on what it is you'd like to start on here, I really don't. I think Varg's very interesting small shield fighter from the Culex unit that seems to be growing a whole lot in Bell right now. Of course, Brett and PTQ are just gold standards. Baelnorn here is a fighter, an older fighter who seems to be trying to get back into it for the first time in a long time. He recently published a self-review and is okay with me looking at it and giving my feedback on it as well. I promised Ferrix forever ago I would review this video for them, so that's where we might start with, just to make sure we get it out of the way before we get a little bit too wet behind the ears. And then, yeah, this novice tournament. So if there's no opinion here, I might just start off. I'm thinking I haven't seen the Magnus and Ferrix video very far through yet, nor the Sir D and Squire Vors video all the way through yet, so I think those are the two that I'm leaning towards. I haven't seen the novice video at all either, so I think let us divine. Let us divine. Perfect. This is so embarrassing. I have 3 monitors and I feel like I'm on a lack of monitor space here. All right. Let's get started looking at Ferrix and Magnus here. Yeah, I just came to the same conclusion there. There is a slight delay between what I say and chat updating, which is weird because I was trying to plug in, I didn't like it. And so this is literally just YouTube's chat. Like I am just looking at the stream chat. It's weird that there's such a delay here. But so if I don't see it right away, that's what's going on. Anyways, let's get into this. So as always, I like to start off by talking about gear. Let's also go ahead and hit the recording button here. So what I like to always start off by is first talking about gear a little bit, because that is important, and then also talking about what I know of these fighters. Magnus is a complete unknown to me, I believe. I don't believe I ran into them at SKBC at all, and if so, I don't remember it. Ferrix is somebody I've been trying to find space and time to fight for quite a while. I think that their method of fighting is really, really interesting. Ferrix is one of the first, like, new age of belts I've seen coming up, warlords I've seen coming up, that is really into leg shots. Has some very fantastic use of a center grip shield, getting behind it and really using the mobility of it. Something I think is super important, something I really took away from SKBC. Excellent footwork, excellent just overall mobility. So let's see how this goes here. With these higher level videos, I'm going to try to skim through them because, again, I feel like I have less overall valuable feedback and it's kind of just for enjoyment. So let's see. We are doing a first 10 here. Quick credit to the channel. This is from MorphC's channel. If you like watching tape and you're not subscribed to MorphC, you're missing out on some of the best footage that gets uploaded. Good, way to come over the top. that ability to both like move laterally and pop over the top is like one of the things I think is super frustrating about Ferrix's fighting style. Again, I haven't had a chance to fight him in a long, long time, but I feel like it definitely would be. Like, okay, not only can I move... Good shot over the top. Not only can I move laterally really well, I'm also very poppy. And I believe I've seen part of this. I believe Morph begins keeping track of the wins for us. Yep, barely got over. I'm waiting to see Ferrix start throwing the things that I know that they're really, really, really crazy good at. These crazy behind the shield dark sides. Like, first person I ever saw throw a dark side that ended up being a flat wrap to the opponent's shield side. Picked the thigh there pretty easily.
I was very sad when I didn't get it.
No, up into the hip. Right on the line, it looks like. Yeah, good call there. Arguable, but in general, if it ever touches the more lethal zone, that's what we're going to want to take. If you got to think about it, it's good.
I was very sad when I didn't get it.
2-2. Thanks, Morph. Like that. Ferrix is probably the best board fighter I've seen at going dark like that and having such a wide variety of shots. And also, I always love, like, I love watching people, really, really high-level fighters high cross the crap out of each other. You know, my first decade of fighting, like, high crossing was, like, the light and the way and the truth. And then I spent, like, the next several years unlearning that, only to, like, you know, in the past year or two, realize, like, oh, against torches, like, some crazy high crosses are actually pretty decent. At a, you know, fighting those torch-style dome shields, like actually being able to pick an arm off there. And, yeah, it's just tools in the toolbox. It's a big commitment to go all the way over and not hit anything. Just like throwing for a leg is a huge commitment. It's a big movement. Yeah, way to pick the arm. So that shot, like targeting this sword side forearm, is something I really struggle with, and something that I've also seen Ferrix and other fighters throw that I always have a hard time with is the weird like curling up shot where like you're literally turning over and your front edge of the swording up into your righty board opponent's sword side arm. I wish we had better language for this. It gets clunky to talk about it. I love it when people motion when they win. Arm for chest, the classic high cross trade. Secura, I'm curious, I know there's a little bit delay here, but I'm curious about like pokes like this. Now obviously Ferrix is excellent, right? But this seems like, I know that we're just fucking with our opponent. I know that we're just fucking with our opponent and probably trying to initiate the exchange and try to get him to maybe reach for it. But it just feels like, do you feel like this is a safe enough, like, reach? A safe enough thing to, like, justify its use? It just feels super risky. I think that, like, definitely here, Ferrix is showing that, you know, he really understands their range. They're at a really good range. If Magnus here strikes back, their hand's in a good flight path, so maybe it's okay. I just feel like, especially against like higher level fighters, if you're trying to cause some sort of like some kind of static or misdirection there, you can do it more through just like body movement, foot movement, just moving your hand aggressively rather than committing, because it's just a huge commitment here. And I think Ferrix can really get away with it because of how mobile they are. Ooh, that was an interesting geometry to get that cross in. So a little bit of a flippy flop to the outside, flippy flop to the inside, flippy flop to the outside, and then just kind of scoots over. What a weird timing shot to like miss this hand that's floating out and come up and in. But this shot right here is kind of what I'm talking about. That low like rising thing. And this isn't low, but basically this same movement, but doing it from below the hemisphere line of the shield and coming up into forearm. But yeah, interesting geometry on that shot.
Oh, damn, sorry.
Tried super duper hard for it.
He took that side step and I was like, no!
There was a shoulder there, I swear.
There was a second ago.
I feel like pump fakes are king, but it's definitely also about who you're... It's also definitely about who you're fighting. And this is why I love watching Ferrix fight so much. The fucking, like, shield check wrap, like, that is old school where I come from. That is like this right here. Now, obviously, Ferrix is probably throwing it at a much higher level, but fuck, dude, this is like early 2000s, early mid 2000s, like classic melee. Yeah, it's definitely true, Kurai. Yeah, the more that I watched that and started like realizing, oh, he's super far away and his hands in their hands in a good spot, it makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I love this right here. Ramon from Midwest Dag Bell has a very kind of similar thing he'll do, but like he'll be at about this range where Ferrix is at, and then square his feet up, and then he will kick the bottom of somebody's shield at the exact same time he throws a flat wrap, and it's so satisfying. It's just such a muscular, like chunky shot.
How dare you learn it?
Didn't work, but it was sick.
Nice, Simon.
Yep, good way to trade. This is that right there is something that I've gotten a tiny bit better at recently that I've noticed. My ability to trade out when I'm down an arm has gone up quite a bit. So I wonder now, because there seems like there's been a high volume of high crosses here, I wonder now if we'll start seeing one of these fighters mix in more dark sides. Nah, sick level change fake from Ferrix there. Yeah, this is how I really like to throw. This is how I ideally would throw my flat wraps. It's how I feel I do it, but I obviously probably don't execute as well as Ferrix does. But that kind of fade away flat wrap where you are low and your head's going to the right a little bit and then you rise right there. I do the same thing because of my weight. I can't quite go as like far forward or down. I have to just kind of do a little bit of a lean. Okay, really close to the double pick there on the arm. Way to finish it up. I'm surprised by the lack of dark sides from Ferrix. I think that's one of the things that they're really proficient at. And I don't know if that's a stylistic thing. Maybe they're just trying to move away from it a little bit. PTQ in the background thinking, these kids these days. Did you guys know I went from no orders to warlord faster than anybody? And you're like, yes, PTQ, it's very impressive. Let's get you back in the home so you can two-stick the nurse aides. I'm just kidding. I love PTQ. PTQ is definitely, in his videos, his insight and analysis is definitely one of the things that really hooked me into wanting to try to be a better fighter. Especially if I could just ramble for a second. Especially whenever I've always wanted to be good. And even when I was stuck at Melee in Tulsa, I wanted to be good. And so when I transitioned into the wider world of foam fighting, after far too long, honestly, I really, I didn't have the same barrier of pride and like xenophobia that a lot of other guys from my group did that thought that, they generally refer to fighters from other locations as a series of slurs. And it was really neat to like realize there's this whole wider world and SKBC exists and there's all these instructors out there who are so good. And PTQ, Brennan way back in the day, Brett, even like Diego Delos like way back then, watching their videos from SKBC, talking about programming your opponent, shot development, really set the hook deep. I think, Kira, the only thing I asked you about was the crazy range fake. Or the poking thing that Ferrix was doing from far away.
Fuck me.
Yeah, head, but it was almost really sick.
Keep thinking you're gonna zig when you were gonna zag. Oh, sorry, go, you're fine.
Close. I appreciate the intent from Ferrix there. That's one of the things, like, I always try to give Way to dig. Way to dig for that back leg. Something Ferrix is so good at is digging for like those back legs.
Yes!
I think I saw Ferrix win in the Sword and Board, a video of him winning a Sword and Board part of a Weapon Master tournament by like throwing under, picking front leg, then stepping way through and coming back and picking rear leg. Just so sick and clean. But one of the things I always try to do whenever I give feedback to fighters like in person is try to give really like hard, tactile, touchable, feely pieces of advice. I don't like old good like kung fu-y like wisdom, like, you know, I'm not gonna tell you wax on, wax off. I want to really explain like lanes and angles as much as I'm able to. And I feel that that idea of like striking with intent, it is so noticeable between skilled fighters and new fighters, where you have new fighters who will launch themselves into exchanges and none of the things they're doing seem coherent. Then you look at more and more skilled fighters, every single piece of movement they do, every single piece of like fakery and shield movement, like even just this is what I'm moving with intention. Ferrix is a little bit of dip offside, moving through the motion, even pumps their gear down, comes up, throws high. Didn't work, but in that one little like if you were playing a fighting game on a controller, that little like 2-button combo right there, there was an intent to it. Draw the person's guard down to the side, try to throw up over the shield. There's intent. Throwing with intent.
Same here. I had this at the last second.
I wish there was a way to know, Sage, that in Iron Mountain's Amp Guard lore, where your shield bash ranks on the tier of it. I still think it's so funny, like, I legitimately, when that happened, okay, Simo, legitimately when you shield bash me to the ground, I remember looking and, like, seeing, like, 3 other guys between you and me and thinking, oh, I don't gotta worry about Sage. And I go back to fighting, and the next thing I know, I'm, like, flying through the air. Like, oh, I wonder how long Sage has been waiting to do that. Nate talking all this shit down in Oklahoma. Way to crush it and clean it up.
7-9.
7-9, thanks Morph.
7-9.
Yeah, I talked to my boss about this a lot. He's like a Ren Fair guy, so we talk about this and like, I explained it to him as like, it's probably the safest full contact sport game, whatever, that you can play. This is the kind of shit I love. This is what I love about Ferrix. Just effortlessly coming under and throwing here. And even with just how far their shield is planed over, guarding their back, this looks almost like the crazy flat wrap he'll throw from dark. They'll flow from dark. Pronouns are hard when you grew up in the Midwest and you're drunk. But yeah, so like this right here at that shield positioning from Ferrix, it looks just like the flat wrap they flow also from dark. And so this is kind of that idea of tunneling where your shots will all look the same up until they break in a different direction, right? It's just that because we're going dark side, it's such a huge movement. It's a big tunnel we're driving through. And that's one of the things that I really like about throwing dark a lot. I don't throw dark a ton, but definitely among my cohort regionally, I throw dark a lot more often than other people. And one of the things I like about it is that, like, the second my hand passes my belly button going under my shield, you don't know if I'm coming out flat, you don't know if I'm coming out in a chop, you don't know if I'm rolling over going backhand. In that one moment, I have a chance to attack in a lot of different ways from a couple of different angles. And I also like, you know, for a lot of that reason is I like throwing double taps from dark. Where you'll throw like flat chop, then flat, like you'll throw an actual reverse wrap where you roll over.
9-bin.
Sounds like we just got the call at 9-bin, so it's match point. Yeah, so that's it. Rolls out. Good fights.
9-bin.
Here's.
Nice. And you can just see just from that, from just how Ferrix escapes out of that engagement, that they definitely have like wonderful balance. Oh, we're listening to Fallout music now. Wonderful balance, wonderful control. I really wonder if, you know, maybe they were just a little bit tired, I don't, it's hard for me not to overanalyze when I watch these things. That's kind of just how I look at them. But you know, maybe they're a little bit tired. They weren't doing as many mobile things as they usually do, as many crazy dark side shots as they usually do. Or maybe I wonder if it's something that they're actually trying to drill down on, where there's a little bit less movement. I think that's one of the things that people can do to really up their game. Obviously, again, Varric's a much higher level fighter than I. But it's one of the things that you can do to really up your game is just generally throw less things, generally be a little bit less crazy, a little bit more reserved in your movements, because there's just less chances for you to fail when you're doing that. And just try to be a little bit more conservative. But that's all we got for that first video. The stream's going to keep going. I'm going to go ahead and cut the review recording there. And we are out. Thanks for hanging out, whoever's here, whoever's still chilling. Yeah, Kira, I'm excited to see where you go. I know that you were struggling for quite a while with knee issues, and I've talked about, like, again, immobility has such a like negative connotation to it, but like that kind of more static fighting style it seems like you have, and obviously it works super well. But also, I have seen it like not being as bad, and like I said though, I only saw like a couple of videos where I thought you were doing that a whole lot, and my monkey brain wants to connect dots and make a pattern happen. Yeah, good win on that first attempt from Ferrix. Take a little bit of a break here. Let's see. Let's see. I think I'm just going to step away for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll leave you guys with some more bluegrass. Give me just a moment, and I'll be right back.
There was a black heart beating in a cowboy's chest when the sun had cooked him through. And the tracks were tears on a cigarette when the sky had opened up again. Looked like midnight, it was noon. Our true love will leave you on your knees in the rain. Our true love will leave you in the rain. Our true love will leave you on your knees in the rain. Our true love will leave you in the rain. There was a blackbird sitting on top of a wire, and the cold made the sky turn gray. And the saints become the beggars, and they live down a pumpkin fray, and they dream of a golden day. There was a man on fire in the back of the church who speaks in a sorry tone. Not because his lover died and she left him all alone. Sing of the holy stone. Our true love will leave you on your knees in the rain. Our true love will leave you in the rain. Our true love will leave you on your knees in the rain. Our true love will leave you in the rain. I've been breaking down these old bones. I've been waiting for the fever to break. Does your house look like a home when it's sliding on into the lake?
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, Kira, I can imagine that has to happen. Increased estrogen. Makes you want to retain all the things, grow all the lovely lady lumps. It just is how it is. Congratulations on growing into your whole new body. Going through puberty round 2 electric boogaloo. I hope you're loving it. I really do. Yeah, that song is Coal Mine Fall by the Builders and the Butchers. I cannot recommend this band enough. One of the bands that got me into bluegrass. They're super good to go. They're super good.
Also, you be riding on a southbound train and got your coal to burn and fill your heart with flames. A true love will leave you on your knees in the rain. A true love will leave you in the rain.
Yeah, the song's really good. I like him. I like their early stuff a lot too. A lot more. I get to be that guy about that band because I've known him for quite a while. Okay, so let's pivot a little bit. We've been. Oh, my mic's still way up here. What's happening? So we watched some very good fighters. Now let's watch some not so good fighters. Some new fighters, and this isn't like this isn't gonna be like an Amtgard Kingdom, like 5 and under or 7 and under Order of the Warrior tournament, whatever the is in vogue nowadays or wherever you're at. This is probably going to be a good few degrees lower than that. So first off, shouts out to every single person in this video. Hopping into a tournament at Armageddon has to be intimidating. Over 1,000 people there this year. I'm sure the lists were deep, so shouts out to every single person that was willing to go through this, especially because it was obviously being filmed. It takes a lot to just like put your suckage out there on camera. It's something that I'm still kind of uncomfortable with. So shouts out to all these dudes. I'm saying that because I know that I have a habit of being a little bit critical, and I really want to try to do some pattern recognition, find out what's going wrong, break down some bad things that we're seeing, and move from there. So let's get started on it. The classic red matchup. It's why we do Bell after all. So I guess this is open gear. Oh, this is definitely a an opinion piece here, but I feel like if you have the bulkier weapon in this pole arm here, you don't want to be in this high guard where you have your weapon up this high. You've really locked yourself into one plane of attacking here, and because your weapon is so much chunkier than your opponent's, then you are going to have a much harder or much longer recoil time on that shot coming back. I think that thrust to the leg in the beginning here. Oh, we're not recording. We need to be recording. All right, so we cut off the beginning of the video, this review, whatever. We'll keep going. I think that this this high guard here is suboptimal. Let's say. Oh wait, no. OBS tried to betray me just now. Okay. I think the stab to the leg in the beginning, this is where we want to be with this kind of weapon here. What we don't want to be doing is having this high guard where we've locked ourselves into a limited number of options. And we're already in a position where if we do swing, our primary swinging path is going to be straight into his guard. So yeah, that's where we want to be. If I was arbing this fight and I was savvy at the moment, yeah, I probably would have reset this to the fighter being up. Yeah, their new fighters are not going to know, and they're also going to be slow taking their hits, and it just is what it is. It just is what it is. It's funny that he kind of gets hit in the leg and like falls over because of it, like falls over trying to recover out of it. So, and I've seen some, to be polite about it, bullshit in some of these Armageddon videos. It's mostly in the larger fights where there's a lot going on really, really quickly, but. Yeah, this is a point where I think as active arbitrators, you'd want to step in because it's not like there was an insignificant amount of distance covered between that leg, the fighter on the right's leg getting hit and the fighter on the left's leg getting hit. In general, I defer to leaving it up to the satisfaction of the fighters, but that's assuming the fighters are skilled combatants and they know what they're doing. The newer the fighters, the more you need that step in. Get out of there, Glaive. Yep. Board fighter did a good job creeping into a good range there and landing. What do we have next? I love how tight this shot is. It makes it suspenseful. Okay, same matchup, yeah. Good. Yeah. It's so hard with the chunkier glaive to fight it to fight out against the super quick buster style. Bro, this channel is literally couch quarterbacking. And I feel like the dozer fighter here, not the buster fighter, the dozer shield fighter here, definitely has probably had a little bit of instruction from somebody who knows how to fight red. Homie on the left seems to be suffering the issue that most glaive fighters suffer, where not a lot of people at your local park want to do it. Good way to close the chop. Not a lot of people at your park want to do it, so you're kind of just left figuring it out on your own.
Don't touch it.
Okay, board fighters. This is our specialty here, boys. Right. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. This is what we like to see. Let's look at that a little bit more closely here. I like the idea. Did this guy get high crossed and lose his shield arm? I know it's happened to me, but boy. Come on, computer. You can do it. What did this get? I guess shield wrist? Yeah, I got some self-consciousness issues. I really don't like looking at myself on video. It's more about body image than about anything skill related. Okay, lots of swinging into the boards. Hey, if you want a sick video about how to turn some bad habits I feel new fighters have into actionable, shots, I have that video. So, he meant to say board, but he called leg. Let us divine. Oh! It looks like it might cleanly miss. In this shot, it's hard to determine whether the sword's on the inside or the outside. In the next YouTube frame we get, it looks like it didn't make any connection at all. I think everybody does that across the board. At least I hope they do. Okay, still going to call the leg on it. I agree with that. No? Okay, fine. I think if you're a real prick of an arb, you can say, hey, well, you called it. All right. So, I try so hard to not call things bad anymore. So the phrase that I like to use is mechanically poor. This is mechanically poor. Now, it's perfectly fine to do mechanically poor things if you're trying to gain a strategic advantage from it. Is this a bait? Because if this is a bait and this fighter has a plan to play around it, this is fine, right? This is mechanically poor but could be strategically strong. Just bad posture. We want to make sure that we're keeping our shields in a good neutral guard, especially for our newer fighters. I would not assume this person has a plan there where they're baiting the arm. If they were trying to bait the arm, I would probably try to instruct them that, you probably don't even want to try that. Just focus on your fundamentals. Ooh, we got a droopy. We got a droopy sword. This is a hard matchup, dude. If this is open gear, I would take that shield off my back and hold it in my hand and use one sword. Because that's freaking hard. This is a hard matchup. It looked like arm, then blocking with a piece of gear that was being held with a dead arm. But, you know, like we've said, they're new. Yeah, ineffective and efficient is probably also a great way to put it. I try to talk to fighters about, like, whenever I see them doing something that looks bad, I ask them, like, you know, what was the plan? What was the goal? Why did you do that? And so often the answer is nothing. They didn't have a plan, they didn't have a goal. And then we kind of get into talking about slowing things down mentally, slowing the fight down and actually having a little bit of deliberation behind it. Yeah, because like the kindness of criticism, because this shit is hard, man. And like you don't there are so many things happening so fast, and so many things are the most important thing to be focusing on all at the same time. Ooh, good take here. Good take here. I don't know. Salty Natured might have called foot on ground on that piece of shit.
He's got no bees.
Interesting matchup here. Crank through, crank through, crank, swing, 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 girl, swing, swing, girl. That's frustrating to see. What a good start to that fight. Followed up by not a lot of gas. Great start, great start. Loses a leg. Oh, it comes close to it. Yeah, any point here, knee walking forward, trying to pick up the leg afterwards. That sucks. That's a hard fight to lose. Also might not be a girl. This fighter. Shield gone? Yep, dead. Yeah, red fighter's bout all the way. Yeah, Kurai definitely, and part of me wishes that I could just like transmit intent psychically to people, so I could use whatever terms feel most correct to me. Like, there's a lot of people who think that like the word fat has a bad connotation, and I feel like fat is just a description of matter. Like, a fat person has a large fat content. It just is what it is. But there's a stupid negative connotation with it, and as much as I want to be like, I'm going to say it anyway, because the more I say it positively, the more it lessens the impact of the term. I just try to not be a fucking prick and make people uncomfortable and, you know, use better terminology. Okay, could I just be a little bit mean? Just a little bit mean. Is this not the stereotypical new fighter shield? I see so many like new or just career like mid and low grade fighters rocking the Templar style like kite shield or teardrop with the horizontal straps, and it is just not good geometry for boffer fighting. Yeah, Sage, we came. See, I think that Sage is part of what made us evolve the way we did is that we all had you know, to some degree kind of a toxic upbringing with our parents or our situation, and we were kind of jerks about it. I know that a lot of it, like, you know, I also got into Melee at the same time I was doing like football and shit, and so there was a lot of the way I communicated was generally pretty like macho and toxic, but I kind of dug it because of that. Like being a newer fighter and having all these older fighters being like, "Hey, new guy, your shit sucks. Here's how to do it." And like part of that is like, you know, embarrassing and frustrating. Part of that is also like, damn, I want to be a part of whatever that guy is doing, because that seems like a really badass thing to be doing. Yeah. I resemble that remark, Kurai, because the reason I use the teardrop I use is because like I've heard of footwork. She's just a distant acquaintance. I just need to guard from my knees up. And the rest of my body may be okay. Yeah, good pick there. Good way to crush in and maintain range. To me, this looked like we might have had red to the shield, maybe shield broken, but also picks the leg. Even if the shield broken is and they get the leg, there's still a pickup on the arm there, and the pickup on the arm and the leg of the red fighter. Top of the body, sick. Yeah, good call. Good call.
Yep.
Now get away safe. Get away safe. Oh, now this is a weird match. This is a weird matchup.
It's a 0.
I don't know why they're asking about his shield health.
No, it's that one.
Yeah, these are all blue strikes from here on out. Doesn't this shit kind of make you feel weird? Just watching how easily this fighter raises his red weapon. That has to be some of the craziest tech development in foam fighting over the past few years. Just how high-tech reds have gotten. Look how easily he just... Whoop! And that's a big fucking red! That's a big front-heavy, like, fucking glaive. What do you think it is? 6.5 feet? Just do what Angus did. Just break their shield. Literally, physically break their shield with single-handed red strikes. I synced it. I was there. Manicure Eye, when I went to the little DAG event near me recently, AOM was having unit testing. And I got to participate. Yeah, it's probably Carbon. I got to participate in their unit testing as like an NPC, and man, it really kind of felt like old times for a second. Yeah, probably Carbon. Well, it's at least 24 ounces if it's doing red damage. I think the general play from here. So, if I can theorize in a vacuum, not being a red fighter and not being in this fight, you know, we're couch quarterbacking this. In a vacuum, I think what would be ideal here is the red fighter throws a strike, steps in behind it, then as a way to return, and then you throw that strike, you're stepping in while you return that strike, using that to block, and then hoping that as you step in, block and step back out, the shield fighter overreaches. I think we're trying to fuck with the shield fighter's balance here. So I think you want to play right at the edge of their range to get him to reach for you. And the best way to get him to reach for you is to act like you whiffed a shot. Like from this guard right here, imagine if this dude just threw like a big Dynasty Warriors floop, right at this guy's leg as he stepped in a little bit, missed on purpose. The shield fighter tries to swing, red fighter leans back. You continue the big circle around the red and try to get a shoulder or something. Uses the bar for units you're not in? Yeah, for sure. It's so funny how that's such a universal experience all the way down the spectrum. I've gone to other small parks here in the area and had that same thing happening. Where it's like, all right, we're here, we're gonna kill your whole realm now. All right. And people ask questions and they have ideas and they have compliments, and I'm like, yeah, thanks, I appreciate the kind words, but it just kind of sucks because as respectfully as possible, you really don't know what you're talking about when it comes to what is and isn't good. Shit. I've only had a chance to probably see what is actually really, really the highest skill level once when going to SKBC and getting to sample such a wide variety of different very good fighters. Also, Talon, this dude in the back here, that's Talon. He's fucking sick. Recommend fighting him if you haven't before. He's one of those persons that's just like, damn, you're good. And you're a lefty. Fuck. What are we gonna do here, guys? Yeah, like that little like beginning of a charge the board fighter just did there. That's what I mean by getting him to reach. Yep, glance the face. What are you gonna do? I wonder if you just start trying to throw the mother of all wraps now with this thing. He's thrown so many straight chops with it. I wonder if you want to start trying to roll the wrist over and actually trying to wrap around the shield. See, right there. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. You do something as the red fighter to incentivize the shield fighter to move. And then you plan the actual killing blow for when he's in this position. Now, obviously, you can't do that if you're doing this weird thrusting thing. Your hand's not in a great position for it. But a term I've heard in MMA and like in boxing is hitting on ones and threes. In this situation, in the beat of the fight, you want to hit on beat 1 and beat 3. You want to go hit, beat, hit. You want to throw a shot, get a response, throw the killer. 1, they go 3, 1, 3. Thinking about that more and more in my own fighting helps me kind of internalize the rhythm in which I want to throw shots and how I want to work on my fakes. Am I hitting on 1s and 3s? Am I double tapping? Am I hitting on 1s and 2s? Sometimes, since some of the most frustrating fighters, like fucking Matt Reynolds, Murdoch here in town, that dude fights on like 1, 4, 5, 8, 12, 13. Like their fucking timing is bullshit. how they fight. It's really frustrating. They'll start throwing a shot, you'll stick the perfect block for it, then reset to guard, and then the shot connects. Maximum respect, but I'm getting kind of bored. These guys are obviously doing their fucking best, but it's a hard matchup. This is where, in a perfect world of game design, I would say that this is a poorly designed interaction. Yep, again, like that. We threw a 1 to incentivize the board fighter to aggress, and we should be planning to kill on the 3. Okay, looks like the Arbs are going to talk it out. Okay, reset the fight. I like these kinds of rules. You know, keep the action going. We saw a shield leg. Alright, yep, max power, max power, max power, max power. Yep.
Everybody, this is your top 4 for the newbie tournament.
Tell him, Talon.
If you make it to the semis, you earn your name. Actually start putting names on the board. Which I find
Thorn and
hilarious.
Roach in the far pit. Thorn and Roach in the far pit. Vibes, Ristos to the post pit. Vibes, do you need? Harold, whenever you're ready.
This fighter in orange is a fighter after my own heart. What a get good kit. Look at the skinniness of that handle. My God. Okay. Got the leg eaten. Okay. Like any future warlord, you got to give up the leg easy. Am I right? Am I right? Hashtag needs for Curai. I don't know if it's good, but like, this is such a cool feeling. Whenever you stick this block with the buckler, that is such a cool feeling. I think the smaller your shield is, the more you got to project. So this is all mechanically poor, right? Back exposed, shield tucked in, chicken wing out, sword guard way out to the side, upshot channel way open, balls dangling mid-air, easily smacked. And, you know, we're a little bit heavy probably on that front foot. We're transitioning our weight there. Or, I don't know. But, you know, again, this could be all Batesies. And the fact that this fighter, like, chills in this position for a second... Yeah, this seems like Batesies, right? But even then, you can still extend this shield just a little bit. I feel like you really want to, like, the benefit of the buckler is the fact that it's small. You can extend it way out in space. You can send it way out in space. And it's still so small that you have a lot of maneuverability to swing around it. So you can do all this elusive shit and still have a really nice extended guard. Kira, I'd like to know. So in situations like this, when you are finding somebody who has a tiny shield, my thought process is always, like, one of the first things I always want to try is double tapping to see if I can just, like, throw, like, an outside wrap, half cock back, throw that outside wrap again, so I can catch them sticking the block, and then in the middle of resetting, hitting them in the forearm. How do you, what are generally, like, your openings against people who have very small bucklers like this to try to just wipe them off the face of the earth? Also, this is definitely foot on ground, right? Maybe not, maybe not. Okay, yeah, it was right at the ankle. YouTube doesn't give us a lot of frames. No matter what you record at, YouTube will always compress it. Good pick on the leg. Fight the arm all the way out. Okay. Good fight. Okay, just throw the same shot twice. I feel like it's the easiest place to start against tiny shield fighters. They're already probably going to be kind of fucking twitchy, so literally just double tap. Or, you know, eat the fuck out of a leg. Throw a one leg shot, Orange Shorts. Throw a goddamn leg in there. There we go! There we go. Yeah. Double taps and volumes, I feel like is an easy way to beat small shields. Good small shields tend to fake for something, and then see how much they flinch, and then punish them for it. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, why double tap the same side if you know all you have to do is fake to that side to make that movement happen, then capitalize off of that? I dig it. Punch shielding, I don't feel like is impressive. I feel like it lets you cheat in different ways. I feel like punch shields are one of the many ways you can compensate for bad footwork. Dude, the newbie special made it. Oh, yeah, the newbie special fucking made it, bro.
You're good.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yep, good.
Lay on.
Hit him with the 918. This is me on the sidelines in real life right now. Spin move. Throw a spin move. Do the Brett. Do the Brett money. Oh, this person is nice, dude. This person is nice. That is such a nice way to say that, Kurai. Small punch works on gambling. Maybe that's why it's so fun. Look at how nice this fighter is in orange. So, like, fucking 21 to 25-year-old Nate, the second your sword touches the ground, I'm going to try to step on this and shield check you over and hit you in the ass. Maybe they just didn't notice, but yeah. All right. Oh, big congratulations. That's awesome. How awesome must that be to be like a newbie and go to fucking Geddon and like win your newbie tournament? Also, Kurai, I am intensely interested in your thoughts on this video. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm going to go ahead and send it to you on Facebook because my first opinion when I saw this was this shit is absolute hogwash. I've been watching all this SKBC footage. This seems so strange to me. Like the shield manipulation just seems to open you up for wraps. So anyway, I'm curious about your thought on this video. We're not going to review it because it's literally just a class. And like fucking Kai's awesome. Kai could beat my fucking ass up and down the fucking like up and down the block, no goddamn problem. But I'm just curious about this. And when I saw, is this sending? Okay, yeah, it's sending. When I saw fucking Kai at SKBC, he didn't mention anything about this kind of shield work. It is rather old. It's 6 years old, but still. Okay. If you wait half a second and let them throw, they'll pick a block because you held your action. You can always punish them. Ooh, that's insightful. I dig that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take another little short break here. Let me see. Respond to any messages. Don't think I really have anything yet. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, right? Like, I don't feel like they practice what they preach in that regard because they're teaching a very, like, almost historically accurate way, like, form of shield manipulation. And I just feel like in boffer combat, if you're close enough to really manipulate somebody's shield, you're probably close enough to just wrap the piss out of them. But anyway, we're going to take about a quick 3 to 5 minute break. I'll put some music on. I'll be back here in a moment.
Little sister, there's blood on the tracks and a lit cigarette, but you're not coming back to a town that was built on black gold and iron ore. And the kettle got hot and it boiled and it steamed, and you can't run away from the worst of your dreams. We'll string you up when you're trying to fall fast asleep. She wore black dresses, and she never cried in the morning. She's got a bottle in paper so she can forget her name. caught red-handed across the county line. But I'll take my chances on the lam. I'm not doing time. You were driving all night. You had a blood-soaked dress. I was dreaming restless and you were thinking of a rest. And when you take a man's life, you fall down. You fall from the grace of God. When you take a man's life, you fall down. You fall down. You fall down. You fall down. Red hands, red hands. It's harder living on the lam. Red hands, you got those red hands. A stranger's blood is on my hand. Keep my eye on the road 'cause I'm out driving after midnight. And the vultures have all come way down out of the sky. And the battle things that live in the shadowed corners are making a plan. They're gonna take away your life. And when you take a man's life, you fall down. You fall from the grace of God. When you take a man's life, you fall down. You fall from the grace of God. When you take a man's life, you fall down. You fall from the grace of God. When you take a man's life, you fall down. You fall down. You fall down. You fall down. Red hands, red hands. It's harder living on the lam. Red hands, you got those red hands. A stranger's blood is on my hands.
We out here getting fucked up on antacids. All right. Yes, Agent. That is the quintessential issue of board fighting or center grip fighting when you're new at it. Is that your left hand is so stupid. You will like see a shot coming, move your hand way out of position to block it, and then by the time you realize it was a fake, oh fuck, I'm dead. So that's why I think strap shields are much better for fighters who can't. It's not better. It's just different, right? Like you could overcome that skill issue 100%. All right. Any opinion from the viewers here? We got Brett v PTQ. We got old Squire D here versus Vors. Vors, Squire D, or Sir D. Bell Knight, I believe. And then we got Bale Norn self-analysis, self-anal assis. What are you guys thinking? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Well, I think in a void of feedback. I think in between these two. The Bellboys, I might have some actual feedback here that I can offer. And with Bale Norn, we have a neat chance to watch somebody not only fight, but offer their own thoughts on their fighting. I should be like Bale Norn. I should like put some cool shit on my walls. All I got is I got Cole Fowler. I got the Ghetto Blaster. Then I got my ghetto stack of storage devices. Okay. Strap is superior. Well, Kurai, I humbly and in a supplicant nature approach you and prostrate myself and ask that you kindly eat both sides of my ass. Okay. I'm glad we had that conversation. Let's look at this video here. All right. Okay. Man, look at the fucking... I hate that you can't just like zoom in to specific parts on a fucking on YouTube. Look at this hammer back here. Nothing screams local bell practice more than a big fucking red hammer. Alright, let's get the recording going. Alright, I could intro this review like I've been introing the rest, which is not introing it at all now that we're actually recording. Let's go ahead and watch some Sir D. D is going to be here with the small shield. And Squire Vors. Chads don't use shields. Based. Based and valid. And to be fair, I could have gotten these names wrong. I just think I've seen D on the Kulix channel before, and he's wearing the garb. And he does this setup a lot with his sword down and his shield super high. And I feel like it's exactly what Kurai is talking about, where like you're trying to get people to be silly and overreach. Vors here, that is his real name, with the purple and gray sword and the punch shield. I really dig this low guard they're presenting here. This is something that Nip and Rourke beat into me during the center grip class, is that if you have this punch shield, why are you simulating a strap shield with it? Put it in weird positions. Also, PTQ covered this in his fundamentals class, his foundations class, where like if you hold your sword right in the middle, right? Like right in the striking lane, then you are equally able to block everything that comes at you. But you're also equally open in all the same areas, right? If you have a punch shield, you have so much mobility, you can really choose where you want your strength and your weakness to be. You can be proactive about it. You can dictate from the outset of the fights where you want your strengths and weaknesses to be and then build a game plan off of that. What they also coached me on, though, is because your shield is so mobile, throwing dark and then throwing, I don't know what you'd call it, dark side, sun side, like throwing over your forearm when you cross over your shield instead of under, is so easy to do with a punch shield. You should really take that sword that sits up here and lower it down, so you're already halfway to going under or over.
Oh.
Let's break down this little setup that our small shield fighter has. He posts up in this guard, and we have this very elaborate motion, right? So, first, we flip over high, breaking the sight line of our opponent, really trying to get him to focus on the sword. We then roll under, cock back to our knee, go back under the shield, then up to throw. And the whole time, it's just like, you know, the other fighter can probably throw almost anything and land this. The charge time on that shot is so long. It's part of the reason why I think Ferrex is such a cool fighter to watch, because I see them throw also very complicated and drops the sword. That's not a good look. I see them also throw very complicated shots and very rarely get punished for it. A little bit of the hiss fake. Like how active our legged fighter is being. Yeah, light side.
So fast. Jeez.
Yeah, I got up under. I only have 2 shots that I've named here. I have the greatest and chiefest of calamities, which is a dark side flat wrap, very similar to what Ferrex throws, and then the full moon knife hand, which is it's a dark side, and that's how you get the full moon aspect of it. But it's a dark side, and you chop down vertically into their sword and shoulder lane once you're over dark, and so it's a knife hand. It's a full moon chop. It's a dark side chop. It's a full moon knife hand.
Like boob shots.
I remember Tato's Lead Exchange series. You had to have a funny name to get included. Close to some nutty boys.
Wow.
Yeah, or our buckler fighter. I guess it's technically a small shield. We're not quite in buckler range. I feel like it's doing a good job of what a buckler is supposed to be doing. We're lying to our opponents. We're taking up a bunch of space here in their striking lane. Then we'll rotate through. We have a little bit of a twist over to the sword side. Then big, strong flex flat wrap. Drop immediately through, trading for the leg. All of this happened because of the elusiveness of being able to fight buckler and lie to people. Absolutely, Kurai, 100%. I feel like our fighter with the purple sword might be a little bit overly defensive, probably because the smaller shield fighter has successfully lied to them so many times that now they are being a little bit too tight. They're worried about punishing that because they've been killed so many times trying to do it before. Redo it. Redo it. Where's my pacifier? There it is.
Cybele?
Well, I threw 3, but my last one doesn't count.
Okay. You threw 3. Hit me twice. Yeah, you got leg arms. But did I hit you twice? Because our first 2 were in time with each other's first 2, I feel like.
Well, I'm calling dead. Because I have no idea.
We know we're dead.
Yeah, Kurai, in a way, it's like, it's a buckler fighter who's used to fighting sloppier, like, small-town local fighters. You know, throwing so much bait out there that he can respond to it and punish people. And then you feel like a fucking
It's on video, guys.
badass.
You guys, it's on video. You can check.
You feel like you're a fucking badass because you're wrecking these dudes with bigger shields and serious try-hard gear with, you know, your small buckler.
I know. All I know is I died.
We both do, we died. That's not the
I don't think my fight. I'm probably sure.
For sure.
Damn it. Yes.
I feel like the same thing you're saying about buckler fighters here is kind of the same way I feel about Florentine fighters. flow fighters, because I feel like so often they are kind of showing from the outset what they want their weakness to be. Now, it's definitely more elusive with flow fighters because the piece of gear you're trying to cheat with is a lot more maneuverable than a board, but still. Like, I'm thinking about, like, when PTQ does, like, his way far, like, you know, yeah, most flow fighters want to be inside of the box somewhere. Sometimes I've seen PTQ come, like, way outside over here. Now, that's what I mean by, like, really strongly choosing what you want to be open and then planning around it. I think it can be good, but I think that there's diminishing returns when it comes to board v board and shield size. I find it hard to justify going smaller than, like, 24 inches on a punch shield, unless, like, you're either trying to prove something and have fun, or you're a very small fighter. Yeah, I agree. Probably not a lot of shots in the Rolodex there to really try to punish. But yeah, I think absolutely the more tricksy your opponent is trying to be, and buckler fighting is, you know, all tricks. The more conservative you need to be and be smarter. Yeah, like talk about like being used to punishing really sloppy fighters. Can we talk about this for a second? Like, the only reason the shield is going back here, if it's intentional at all, is to be a fake, right? And it's not even a good fake with intent. Like if this is a fake, what are we trying to sell here? We're not trying to send any particular message. It's just all fucking static. I don't like how little data gathering Boars is doing here either. Yeah, board. How little data he's gathering. Also, because talking about, like,
Those are so fun to watch.
You know, when I do the double tap I'm talking
It's
about.
so fun to watch.
Let me read your message real quick. I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's very obvious when you're throwing fakes if all you ever throw with is just your arm for your fakes and your shots. We had a conversation like that a couple months back at our practice where it's like, nah, you really fake with like your chest, your hips, and your knees. But yeah, reconnaissance, gathering data. Like, you're talking about throwing fakes to see how they respond to figure out where they want to get hit. That's gathering data. The same thing I was talking about, how I'll try to throw double taps to kind of like gauge their speed and see if I can catch them reset. It's gathering data. You can gather data pretty safely against these buckler fighters because they have to be so active in their defense, and yet we see like no real testing shot here from boards. I'm not sure what we're oofing about. You'll have to send me a timestamp of this recording or the video we're watching.
I think you got it. Cheater times 5?
Cheater times 2.
I think it's 8-5 or 8-4.
Or just call me on fucking Discord if you want me to look at it live.
It was 7-5 before that fight. So.
Okay, so it's 8-5. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It is cool to watch, though, I'll say that. Curai comments for those watching the recording that the whole strategy for the smaller shield fighter here seems to be to throw wild shit and hope that it lands. And 100% agreed, but hey, it's cool looking. Nah, be loquacious, it's good. It's a small stream and a small channel, baby. I love the engagement.
I'm not one.
Man. Now, obviously, Kirai, it wasn't anything like this, but this is what I mean by like why like when I was looking at you and you just weren't doing footwork. In my mind, this is what it looks like. And I'm sure in my brain, if I went back and watched it, there'd be a lot more going on. This is more what I mean, I guess, when I say like there is just a total lack of footwork going on here. Like, what are we gaining by being totally still here? Listen, Kurai's fucking educated. He's not like that. She's not fucking like school smarted. She's self smarted. But sometimes the self smarts, especially with a motivated young lady behind, the self smarts really are better than the school smarts. Yeah. I mean, so I'm assuming Kurai is one of those people that had a post high school reading level in like middle school or elementary school. I'm only saying that because Kurai strikes me as an occasionally depressed person, and one of the earliest signs of adulthood depression is a post high school reading level when you're young. Ooh, was that leg? Was that leg? Are we sure? Okay, I'm done. That was thigh. Yeah, see that like that like
Wow.
even that right like even that right like what Boris did here. Yeah, just pressure the shit out of the board fight out of the buckler fighter. Just
Wow.
pressure the shit out of him. Throw volume. You know, you can do it cleaner. You can talk about doing double taps or doing like fakes to gather data and punish, or just volume them the fuck down. It is a strat. It is a line. Gear adjustment. Put my balls back together. Excuse me. We came here to judge people. There we go. Also, I'm curious. I'm always curious when people fight punch shield and they're like predominantly or only ever left foot forward. I'm a right foot forward main myself. I try to switch a whole lot. I have like, I don't know. I have a lot of different shield guards that I really enjoy. I've worked kind of hard on developing. I like being able to give people a lot of different looks. Left foot forward, right foot forward. Orthodox with my shield like raised like a strap shield.
Damn. Good chop. Shot.
We're calling that a trade?
Damn. Good chop. Shot.
Yeah, right. See, look at Sage out here. Look at Sage out here. My boy, fucking Sage out here. Now listen. Can Sage write an essay? Yes. Will it be good? But look at him. He's happy as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not. I really, the less fussing I have to do, because like you, I don't.
No. I said something about like you said oof earlier about something, and I was like, yeah, just call me on Discord if you want me to look at it here in real time, or just send me the timestamp of what you're oofing about, either from this video I'm gonna upload or the video I'm reviewing. Here's the title. Ooh, there's a part 1. Don't get jealous, Kurai.
Good.
Just imagine waking up, Curai, at the foot of my bed, holding 2 bats, whispering, "I heard you've been talking to somebody else on Discord." I'm like, "No, Curai, I would never do that." And she goes, "Now we're gonna block strike for the next 8.5 hours." And I'm like blushing, trying to hide my raging whack erection. Punish me with block strike. Ugh. Well, that was a video. Interesting. You know? So, we do always try to look at, like, pattern recognition, right, and what we can do better. And reviewing this, you know, or summationing and summarizing this review here, the main things that I'm feeling is that I think our old D here has survived a little bit too long. Little bit too long on fancy tricks, and it's time to rein it in a little bit and go back to just some more traditional board fighting with good guard projection. I mean, they're no matter what your shield size is, there's no reason to hold this close to your body unless it weighs 1,000,000 pounds. Then why would you have it weigh 1,000,000 pounds? You know, the fakiness only gets you so far. There's that old phrase, slough your way to the middle. You can also bullshit your way to the middle, but you got to have your fundamentals and body mechanics and footwork and block strike beyond then. I would have liked to have seen Vors here use a little bit more just honestly disrespect. I know that's a weird way to phrase it, but it's what it feels like to me is that sometimes you just respect somebody as a fighter too much. You respect their skill level too much, and you need to have that little bit of arrogance and egotism to just decide, like, I'm just gonna fucking stroke this dude and just like throw your 90%ers at him as hard as you can. Would have liked to have seen a bit more of that. That's generally, I think, a good way to have to approach buckler fighting, or fighting buckler fighters, I should say. But yeah, we'll wrap it there. I'd love to fight these guys sometime. These are the guys who I feel like, honestly, after all this critique, are probably right in my skill level. I'd love to check that against them and see where we're at. All right, we are out of the recording. We're back here with just us cool kids. Let me check my notifications. All right. We are tootling right along, folks. I didn't think we'd get through all of these. Yeah, wax must flow, wax remain pure. I'm almost drinkless. We're getting there. By the way, if you ever have the misfortune to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma again, Waldo's Chicken and Beer. Waldo's Chicken and Beer. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm a very fat man. I've eaten a lot of fried chicken all around Tulsa County. The best fried chicken in Tulsa. That being stated, I'm gonna go get another whiskey drink. I'll be back here in just a moment. Let's see. What do we got? What do we want for you guys here? Come here. Why can't I drag this tab? What's happening, computer? What the fuck is going on? I think my Mozilla tab might be crashing. Oh no. Oh no. I just have a straight up non-responsive Mozilla tab here. Okay, 1 second. I may have to fuck around with a couple of things. Whoa, that's weird. Huh. I think I think Firefox crashed on me. Okay, I can't see chat for the moment. Just bear with me. Oh, double cup for insulation. Okay, we should be back. Yeah, no, Kira, I will 100% agree with you that of all the ways that we've seen to attack a buckler fighter, that is definitely one of them. Of all the ways you could do it of all time, it is among them. Let's play a different kind of bluegrass song. No, actually, let's just play some weird shit. What do I got queued up on the weird shit? Yeah. Go ahead and bump out to this one for a minute, and I'll be right back.
A game of chess is like a sword fight. You must think first, right? Before you move.
Tone style is immensely strong and immune to nearly any weapon. When it's properly used, it's almost invincible.
Raw, I'ma give it to you with no trivia. Roll like cocaine straight from Bolivia. My hip hop will rock and shock the nation like the Emancipation Proclamation. Wig MCs approach with slang that's dead. Them eyes are running to the wall and bang your head. I push a force, my force you're doubting. I'm making devils cower to the Caucasus Mountain.
Well, I'm Messiah. I set the microphone on fire. Rap styles vary and carry like Mariah. I come from the Shaolin slum, and the al I'm from is coming through with enough niggas, enough guns. So if you wanna come sweating, stressing, contesting, you got your soft swords at the midsection. Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. Phony niggas are outlined in chalk. I'm mad vexed, is what the projects made me. Rebel to the grain, there's no way to barricade me. Steamroller niggas like an 18-wheeler, what the drunk driver driving. There's no surviving. Rough like Timberland, where? Yeah, me and the clan and yo, the Land Cruisers out there. Peace to all the crooks, all the niggas with bad looks. Bald head braids, blows his hook. We pack cone checks, nigga play the max. Black axe, drug dealing styles with fat stacks. Only been a good nigga for a minute though, cause I got to get my props and win it. Yo, I got beef with commercial ass niggas with gold teeth, lamping in a Lexus seat and beat. Straight up and down, don't even bother. I got 40 niggas up in here now who killed niggas for me. My peoples, are you with me where you at? In the front, in the back, killer bees on attack. My peoples, are you with me where you at? Smoking up, hitting caps on the block with the gap.
Here I go, deep tight flow. Jack you stole can never get this low. I'm Terry Bomb and shit. Boom, that's warming up a little bit. Rapping in is what's happening. Keep the pockets stacking in, hands clapping in. At the party when I move my body. Gotta get up and be somebody. Grab the microphone, put strength to the bone. Dan, 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 into the Wu-Tang zone. Sure enough when I rock that stuff up, I'm gonna catch your bluff tough. Rough, kicking rhymes like Jim Kelly or Alex Haley. I'm a beat a belly rhymes, coming raw style. Hardcore, niggas be coming to the hip-hop store. Coming to buy grocery from me. Turn out to be a hip-hop MC. The law, in order to enter the Wu-Tang, you must bring the old dirty bastard type slang. Represent the Jizza, Abbott, Ruza, Shaquan, inspect the deck. Dirty hole getting low with his flow. Introduced in the ghost bass killer. No one can get it live.
My peoples, are you with me where you at? In the front, in the back, killer bees on attack. My peoples, are you with me where you at? Smoking meth, hitting cats on the block with the gap.
Speaking of the devil's sight, know it's the God, get your shit right. Mega trife, and yo, I killed you in a past life. On the mic while you was kicking that fast shit. You and Nick tried to get it, got blasted. Half-mastered ass style, mad rough chast. When I struck, I had on Tim's in the black mask. Remember that shit? I know you don't remember Jack. That night, yo, I was sitting like a spiked bat. And then you thought I was bugged out and crazy. Strapped for nonsense, after me became lazy. Yo, nobody budged while I shot slugs. Never shot ducks, I run with ducks that flood mugs. So grab your 8+1, start flipping and tripping. Niggas is jetting, I'm licking off, son.
Wu-Tang, 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 Wu-Tang. Homicide's illegal and death is a penalty. One justifies the homicide when he dies in his own iniquity. It's the master of the mantis rapture coming at ya. We have an APB on an MC killer. Looks like the work of a master. Evidence indicates that his stature merciless like a terrorist, hard to capture. The flow changes like a chameleon, blends like a friend and stabs you like a dagger. This technique attacks the immune system, disguised like a lie, paralyzing the victim. You scream as it enters your bloodstream, erupts your brain from the pain these thoughts contain. Moving on a nigga with the speed of a centipede and injure any me, motherfucking contender. My peoples, are you with me? Where you at? In the front, in the back, killer bees on attack. My peoples, are you with me? Where you at? Smoking meth, hitting cats on the block with the gas.
We still awake out there in the world? Alright. Yeah, I know, Sage. I know I was still alive. I wasn't done streaming. I was finishing the recording, because I'm streaming the recording session, so all of this is being streamed, but I'm only recording certain bits of it for to upload to my YouTube channel. Ooh, well, we've made it to the final 2 videos, lads. I feel like Brett v. Peter, I'm not really going to have much to offer on it, aside from just being generally impressed. So let's start with old Baelnorn here. Okay. Man, I love Baelnorn, but he really does have the caught in the headlights look going for him. He's got that, and I mean this as complimentary as possible. He has a sick, crazy eye going on. Okay. Let us begin. Gonna actually do an intro for this one. Hello everyone, my name is Natred. I'm back here with another Natred review, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I keep looking over in this direction. My camera used to be over here. I decided to move it over here for reasons, and yeah, now here we are. So if you see me keep doing this, it's because my OBS window and you are normally over here. Today we have a kind of a different review we're going to be doing. We're going to be reviewed squared. We're going to be reviewing a review. This entity here, this lovely person, is Baelnorn. If you have not subscribed to their channel, you definitely should. I think they're putting out some of the best content right now and when it comes to foam fighting footage. And not only that, Baelnorn has taken on the admirable task of trying to get back into fighting after a long time away and trying to break some plateaus and become better. And in the search of the dream here, they began uploading videos of them fighting. And I found this truly inspirational. I'm not where I want to be at fighting-wise or physically, and it's really literally empowering to watch somebody like Baelnorn here go through and say, hey, I'm not the best. My physical properties aren't what they used to be. I'm still out here. I want to get back into it. I want to get better. Here's footage of me fighting. Not only that, he breaks it down. So let's go ahead and watch this. What we're going to do is watch Baelnorn's speaking portion of it, watch his analysis portion of it, and then we'll pause and talk about it.
Something I haven't done in over 5 years. I entered a tournament. Nothing grand, just a Dutchy level Amcard tournament. I've been getting back into fighting for the last few months, and I thought it would be a good way to gauge where I'm at in my foam fighting journey. I was able to set up a tripod and get some good footage of me fighting. I thought it would be fun to break down some of my fights. The tournament had 3 categories: single sword, 2 swords, and open. I did better than I had hoped in single sword, about what I expected in 2 swords, and I got more kills with a polearm than I figured I would. If you want to hear about my experience, I wrote a blog on my website, link in the description below. Make sure you like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. Now on to the fights. In this fight, my opponent opened up with a flourish, so I thought I could end it quickly, but he got in the hand block and I lost my arm. What he didn't expect was the quick hand exchange and second shot to his side.
Dead. Nice shot.
Yeah, very well done there. I think that that's one of the things that you gain from experience is knowing how to stay in the fight. And Baelnorn does a very good job here of getting the wound, pop, and then transitioning. And during that transition, the fight does not stop. He keeps going. Picks up the nice double tap there.
In this fight, I misjudged the range, causing me to miss the block and ended up being hit in the leg. I then tried to get in one last shot before Torg moved away, which opened me up to being hit in the arm and killed.
And it looks like Baelnorn might have ended up trading out for an arm there at the end. But, you know, that's not the kind of trades that you need to get through a fight. And obviously his opponent here is a very long weapon. Baelnorn mentions that he misjudged the reach of this weapon. That's 100% easy to do. This looks like at least a 40-incher, and he is pommel gripping it. And so that's why I talked about this in the first video I recorded tonight. I always think it's super important to analyze people's gear. I talk about it in my videos whenever I want to get really in-depth about analyzing a fight. One of the first things I do is break down their gear, because in this situation, one of the first things you have to notice before anything else happens in this fight, your opponent has a really long sword. Now, what do we do about that? So the longer your opponent's weapon is, the more you want to be extended away from your body. Now, you are mechanically stronger the closer you are to your body. So it's going to feel weird extending your arm out. But as you extend your arm out, you extend out the bubble around you that you can block. And those really long weapons have more ways to loop around your bubble. And so I think that's one of the first things I would change here. And yeah, you have more leverage close to your body to get really strong positive blocks in against longer, heavier weapons. But when you're really far out, you can still stick those blocks and you'll reciprocate a little bit, but you'll still be able to catch it and stop it much further out from your body. Curai comment saying, common thing I see about Pacific Northwest fighters is that no one with another little block. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't read chat comments word for word. Generally agreed. Well, then they must have allowed this differently, because I assume what Baelnorn is holding here is a standard length sword. And so maybe I'm just tripping because of the handle length here. This looks like the same proportions as my 40-inch bell bat.
I waited till he attacked and caught his block. Then I responded with a counter shot that Valrune also blocked. I then tried a third shot that he blocked and took my arm. I then quickly switched hands before he could respond and killed him by hitting him on the side.
So, to steal Baelnorn's slow-mo skills, this is never where you want to be fighting single. tip down, this block right here from the fighter on the right, it feels so good and so positive, but your next shot is only going to want to come one way. And so as we see, like not to bury the lead, but when you're this far cocked over, your body is going to want to swing back and extend the other way because you're so chambered. It makes it very predictable. Manages to get the arm there, and then Baelnorn showing that same like savviness from years of doing the thing. Transitions, gets the double tap.
I mean, is it really a phone cutting game if you can't spam it across it?
Flow v flow is weird.
I mean, is it really
I wanted to show this fight, which no one won, to highlight an issue I have when fighting with two sticks. Sometimes I forget I have a second sword. Here I see an opening and the sword goes for a stab. I take advantage of the opening, stabbing as well, but don't even make the attempt to block with my right sword.
phone cutting game if you can't spam it across it every single
So definitely true there from Baelnorn. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. I think one of the things you can do as somebody inexperienced with two weapons, trying to get better at remembering to use both of them, is just extend them in front of your body. Like put your swords in front of you. I think Baelnorn did the right thing by prioritizing his left weapon, because as a flow fighter, like that is going to be what you want to focus on the most, because a lot of what you're going to fight as flow fighters are board fighters. So I think it's good that he's leading with the left hand. Not in this specific situation, but just as a general umbrella here. But just put that second sword in front of you. Get that old like fucking Sir Spin like Rogue 1.0 kind of guard going on. Just put your sword in front of you so you can see it and remember.
You good? You good?
Unlike the last fight, in this one I remembered I have two weapons. I see my opponent's right sword swinging wide, so I use my left sword to block it. I also take the time to use my right sword to attack his right shoulder and follow it up with an unnecessary shot to his side.
And again, this hand rotating down. Oh, come on, YouTube. This hand does not need to rotate down to block. Look at how close you're catching the sword to your hand. Now you're catching it on your actual sword, not your actual hand. But if we just take this sword and rotate it upwards in space, so your hand is up, and then move the hand down a couple of inches, we stick the same block, and we keep both of our sticks in combat. So Baelnorn is doing better in that remembering he has two swords here and using both of them. However, he's using one of his swords as a pure shield. You can have one of your sticks be your defensive stick, but it's still a sword that can strike. It's not a shield. Whenever you fully devote your bat to the point that you're tipping it down for the block, this is now just a weird down speary shield. We don't want that. We want bat up, hand placement down lower, keep the tip of your sword in the fire.
No, you're good.
All right, so I have watched this video before.
No, you're good.
I have seen this video before, and the second I got to this part here, my first thought was, on this field, the spear fighter is going to lose. If you are fighting in a tournament that's open, and you're in a enclosed space, and you're fighting pole, you want as much starting space as you can get. Kindly inform your opponent, I don't want to touch swords. I would like to begin at range. You want time to maneuver. You want space to transition your momentum from static or forward to backwards as they aggress into you, and you can throw some shots and exploit your range. This is way too small of an area for an open weapon tournament. And this area is bigger than Baelnorn should really be using it, but look at these two cones here. Like what, this other cone is like down here, just barely off screen. The matching cone for this one's just over here, barely off screen. Like this is a tiny, tiny, tiny square. Yeah, because like, what else do you do?
I'm unable to move my feet quickly, and this fight shows that well. Louis does a good job of exploding and pressing me. I try to jump back, but by the time I'm moving, he has already hit my left arm. I try to back up while blocking, but he comes in with a second shot, hitting me on my side, before I'm able to react to a swing.
Yeah. Yep, not enough space and time to react.
I'm slightly proud of this fight. While my movement is clunky at best, when I was pressed, I managed to stay calm and put my polearm in the way of his ability to swing. Then I started to turn and back up, and I blocked his attack in the process. I swung as I was backing up, hitting him in the leg. He swung, hitting me in my left elbow as I finished the fight, killing him.
Man, super lucky that was elbow and not body. And also, is this not the most mid-tier thing you've seen? Where fighting pole as a sword and board fighter, you still find a way to throw a high cross. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Could throw literally anything he wants to in the whole world. High crosses directly into the pole fighter's guard.
If you made it through to the end, I appreciate your dedication, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know breaking down my fights really helped me understand my strengths and weaknesses a whole lot better, and I hope you found value in it as well. What did you think of the video? Do you want to see more breaking down Baelnorn content? Was the video helpful in your fighting journey? Comment below. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay inspired, stay excited, and keep fighting.
So, we can say whatever we want to about the overall fighting skill, but what an absolutely sweet boy. What an absolutely sweet boy. Yeah, what a good guy. All right. That's it for that recording. Stream is still live. All right. If I can keep it a whole buck with you. Oh, wait. I think there was something on this channel I was wanting to look at earlier, too. Oh, I've been streaming for a while and my resources are taxed here. Okay, let me try this. I thought there was some video that Jaius uploaded recently that I was wanting to watch. Oh, it was the Foundations video. Never mind. Not to review. I was just wanting to watch it again. Man. So this browser I'm using here, this is called Brave. And Brave is sick because it comes in with a built-in ad block. So it still blocks ads on YouTube.
What's the?
There you go. Yeah, look at this. Let's look up a song. What's a song the kids are listening to? No ads. No ads.
They had the fake orgasms.
Brave browser.
We can tell
Download
niggas
it.
today,
Brave.
hey, I wanna
Brave. It's
come,
awesome. Sponsor me.
You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. Your boyfriend is a dork. Make loving. I just pulled up in the ghost. Fuck that bitch up out in London.
I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need all my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me. That could my seat. IP ownership. The blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off. I get off at my feet.
What's the password?
I see dead people.
We're just gonna watch this.
You late.
Aye, monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak though. Man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pole on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified...
Oh, it's not what we're doing. I was just showing off the Brave browser. Honestly, though, I'm looking for recommendations. Might be gone by the time I reply to this. I was kind of wanting to watch the Peter the Quick video, but I don't know. I've watched this video like twice already. I'm just kind of bored of it. If there's something you guys want to have me watch, I'm into it. Yeah, later, Kira. I have a good one too. I think that might be it. I'm just not really feeling super into this one. Like, it would just be me watching it quietly and being happy to be seeing it. So yeah, I think rather than let it linger and get lame, I'll go ahead and just call it off there. And I deeply appreciate everybody who hung out, came through, and watched it. And yeah, I will be hopefully doing this again soon. We'll see. I can't tell the future. Have a good night, guys. Ooh, I got so many things here. And we'll go out on this one.